Why do I ever try to connect in Dallas? I don't know. Then I also had the recollection that I, as a human, am incapable of timing my bathroom breaks correctly. Well, I need to gather myself and put myself in the right mindset for this, but I've recently traveled. I'll be traveling again in not that long to see you. But as is our tradition, I have air travel reflections, just general observations.
Okay. I'm curious what's happened in your recent travels. I feel like I'm scared that feet will be involved because I feel like there's always like a bad foot airplane story.
There's always
So
feet.
why, people? Why?
To give you all the context, I was traveling from Florida from a small regional airport to Austin, so there's no direct flights, which is just
So sad.
already like observation number one of sadness because then you have to contend with connections. And I was flying with Southwest, who I love, but I don't know. And I just wish they would make a direct flight from here to Austin. Anyway, it's probably not going to happen. We'll start off with saying that due to weather in Dallas, why do I ever try to connect in Dallas? I don't know. But due to weather in Dallas, I had a notification that morning that I was immediately going to miss my flight or miss my connection because of a delay. So thank God I live close enough to the airport that I was able to quickly rearrange and hop on an earlier flight and connect at a different location. But, you already start off with that like internal
Anxious.
panic. So I shoved myself to the airport early and I'm like half awake. I didn't get a chance to do any of the things I'd wanted to do that morning. Thank God I was already packed. But we were standing there waiting to board. And I observed this woman talking on FaceTime, which public FaceTime discussions are already at the top of my list of generalized irritations with people because it's just doesn't feel like you should do that in a crowded airport lobby.
Did she have AirPods in or headphones?
I think she did, but it's still weird.
It is weird.
It
Yeah, I don't
just
like
makes me
that.
uncomfortable. Anyway, maybe that's my problem. But I heard her talking so loudly, and she
That's
said,
already bad.
and I quote, because I literally pulled my phone out to write this down, "Don't make me hiss at you while I'm in public."
She said that to whoever she was FaceTiming? Oh my God, what?
Can't think of anyone that you would be FaceTiming that you would say that to as an adult, a full adult.
I don't like that.
I don't either. So then I kept listening and she kept talking. And then she said, I don't like touching things in public,
I'm
which just made
so
me laugh because I'm like, well, how do you not touch things in public, especially at an airport?
I'm so curious about the context of this conversation. This is when you would want it on speaker with no headphones because you're like, what is this other person saying?
I think she was talking this loudly now that you say this because she had her headphones in. So she
And
probably
she
didn't
didn't know.
realize how loud she was being.
I hate that. Oh my gosh.
I wish I could have learned more. I'm not going to ever be the person that records a random stranger in public, but boy, did I want to on this one to have captured her outfit because it was eccentric.
Oh boy. So there's multi-layered facets of this woman's presence.
Excellent, excellent case study. Moving along, we were sitting there and we boarded. And then we were sitting, and when you're on the plane and you definitely are inhaling the fumes from the exhaust, I don't know what happens, but there's like a point when you're on the tarmac where it's like they're pulling air from the exterior instead of recycling it. And so we
Something's
were
going
sitting
on.
and
Yes.
yes. And I'm like, I think I'm asphyxiating on fumes. And then the guy goes, "We're conducting a fog test." What's a fog test?
Is that like, I don't know. I was about to say something really stupid. Do
Oh,
they
it's like, do you shoot a
blow
laser
air?
into the sky?
Oh, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, are they creating fog around the plane? No, that's dumb because it was foggy out.
It was so foggy. And I mean, it's annoying to be sitting on the tarmac, which we were for 2 hours, which was not my favorite.
Oh,
But also, I don't want to fly if you can't see.
correct. I'm like safety first, but also this is annoying. So were you inhaling the exhaust fumes for the whole 2 hours?
Basically, I think at some point they just shut the plane off. So then you're just breathing everyone else's
Oh,
breath. So that was
the
cute. And then, so they're conducting a fog test. Then we start to see other planes taking off. And I hear people say, look, there's, United is taking off or this plane is taking off. And I think it was the captain. I think the captain's door was open at this point because just like nothing was happening. Legitimately, I heard him say, "Yeah, our plane is way older than theirs, and our instruments aren't as precise. So I need way like double the visibility that those pilots need for us to take off."
Gosh. Oh, that would be so annoying. But also, I'm like, yes, if you need more, then you need to take it.
Yeah,
But how
I
annoying
don't.
to see everyone
Yeah,
else.
I
That's
don't
like
want
when
to
you get to
ride.
a restaurant and you sit down before somebody, clearly way before somebody, and then they get their food first, and you're like, why? I didn't order anything crazy.
Okay, so that wasn't so much an irritation, but it's just like, this is traveling now. Then I also had the recollection that I, as a human, am incapable of timing my bathroom breaks correctly
Well, you have to pee a lot.
constantly, especially in the morning when it's coffee and water time. And it's like I try to wait until we're about to board to go to the bathroom, but then I wait too long. So then now we're boarding, and then I don't know if I can get there and then get back, especially with Southwest, and then get in line so that we're getting on.
That
And then
stresses me out.
timing the morning pee and coffee within the morning coffee induced poop. And
That you don't want to
then,
do on an airplane.
no. And
Well,
then
also, when you're on a tarmac, you can't get up to go to the bathroom, correct?
they got over that because we were out there for 2 hours. Because I was like, I mean, I either pee my pants or I go to the bathroom. But the other thing that gets weird that I've realized I'm shitty at is even if I do go to the bathroom before I get on the plane, then there's the gap of time that you're not supposed to go until you've reached altitude.
Still, that's hard to make that transition.
Sometimes it depends how long it takes to take off. And then what if there's turbulence? And then so you have to wait a little bit
No,
longer. And then they start coming, but then you have to time it too, or you have to, before they come with the snacks,
then you like don't know how to maneuver
because
around.
you can't get through.
Yeah.
There's a lot to maneuver here. Okay, also, next, you were correct. There were feet problems. I was sat down, and the lady next to
No.
me had bare feet out in the raw. I think she maybe had a clog of some sort, like a
Oh,
slip on,
it's like
which,
clogged toenail. Okay.
no, I did not look that closely. But if just wear socks. I know we don't have to take our shoes off for TSA anymore, but
Thank
I don't
gosh.
want to see your little piggies on the plane. Sock feet, no judgment. That's comfortable. You have a long flight. Who cares? But she pulled out her little raw piggies and she set them on top of her shoes. And then she kept like squirming her toes around.
I would be so uncomfortable.
It is so gross.
Like I would have to set something up where like I couldn't see, like I had to put a book up there, like block my view because that's so disturbing to me.
And then here's another observation of me being an idiot. So you go to the lobby now for the connection. There's all of the chairs. They're the charging chairs. It's also super busy in there, and I need to charge my phone because what was I doing other than playing on my phone when we were on the tarmac for 2 hours? And I saw an open chair, and I was so excited, and I plopped myself down, and I got all of my stuff unpacked and pulled out my breakfast, and then I plugged in my phone, and it didn't charge. And
Okay.
why didn't it occur to me that the chair was broken? That's why it was open. Why did I think in a lobby full of people where there were folks standing that the universe just left me two magical chairs?
That's so sad though, because sometimes you get lucky when people get out and then you take their spot. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say
Absolutely.
you got like, have you heard about people putting, well, they
The
put the fake,
stickers on the walls. Yeah, those have gotten
yes,
me before.
that's really mean.
Oh my God. I also learned, and this is not a new realization, but I apparently only talk to retirees. I made friends with like 5 people throughout my
Of
trips
course
there
you
and
did.
back.
Of
They were
course
all
you
of
did.
retirement age. Okay, this was a weird one, and this is how I'll end this, but there was a woman who was getting real Karen-y with the flight attendant because the Southwest rule for family boarding, I believe, is that kids 12 or under, you can board early. So
Mm-hmm.
this lady was talking about how her child was 13, so they weren't allowed
Mm-hmm.
to board early. Therefore, they had to sit at the back of the plane to get a seat together, but there weren't any seats left together by the time they got on because they were at the very end of the seas. And then she was basically accusing the flight attendant of making her daughter sit by a creepy weirdo because they wouldn't let her board early.
Oh my God. Why
And
go
she was
about it
giving,
like that? Like just politely ask someone to switch spots with you.
yeah, it turned, when what was weird is that a man did switch spots and moved so that she could sit by her daughter. So she
Yeah.
had what she wanted, but she still wanted to bitch at the flight attendant, and she was getting kind of loud. But I guess I kind of get what she was saying. At first, I wanted to be like, lady, why don't you pay more money to get on preferred if this is your fear? Also,
Hmm.
not every man on the plane is a creep. I mean, there were plenty of open seats next to women and semi close to each other. 13's not that young. They
No,
have to
that's
have a
like
cutoff
eighth grade.
somewhere.
Yeah.
They were probably there at the back of the plane because they had a cancellation and got rebooked. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, maybe she couldn't have prevented getting on the plane so late. I don't know though. I
Just
don't
all
have
the
kids, but do you have
assumptions.
thoughts? Because it was just a weird.
At that age, I wouldn't really care unless there was actually like some concern about some creepy guy. But
Yeah.
then if like, at that point all the middle seats are taken. So obviously don't ask like an aisle person to switch seats with you because they're gonna say no. But like figure out a way where you can just be like, hey, me and my parents did that one time. We're like, hey, my dad's back there. Like, anyone mind switching just so that we can sit together? And like, there's so many different options. Like, someone's gonna probably say yes, but that age is quite old. Like, if it was like a 5-year-old, I'd be like, we got to figure something out,
Yeah.
just
But
for
then they
like
would have
the
gotten to get
sanity
on
of everyone
early.
around. Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. I was like, well, Southwest has to have a policy cut off somewhere. Where do we cut it off?
I feel like
Surely
12 is
not
a good one.
everybody looked like a registerable man from the front of the plane all the way to the back of the plane. I found a middle seat between two women. There couldn't have been none. I don't know. It was very odd. And to your point, well, she'd already had what she wanted. People are going to be willing to switch so you can sit by your kid. I don't know if she was
Yeah,
just mad that she was in the back and then she just needed to yell at somebody, but the urge to
probably.
bitch at someone that has no control to change the policy that you're complaining about is a really wild thing to me. And I guess
Hey,
that's what I'm complaining about.
but guess what? Now there's no open seats, so you get to pick your seat, right?
Not yet.
Starting next year.
Yeah, sometime next year. I think
Yeah,
my flight to come see you next time is still within open seating.
I gotcha. Okay. Well,
Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, if this is so perturbing to you, don't fly Southwest.
she probably just wanted to get away with the family boarding and realized she wasn't going to be able to get away with it.
And
Wow.
when we were loading up, one guy told me that it was his first time flying Southwest and that the open seating was the worst thing he's ever experienced.
Did you say like, because you're sitting by me? Sorry.
I don't remember, but I was like, it's not that, like, this is why Southwest is fun because it's chaos and it's weird and you don't have to pay for extra seats. And then uh, we were at the back because that was one of my rebooked ones. And it was me and this construction worker guy trying to explain to him why it's fun because when you travel alone, you can sit in the middle at like the front of the plane
Yes.
all the time. I was like,
Uh-huh.
I regularly fly by myself, sit in the back, get on like a peasant, and then am able to sit very near the front because there's all these weird gaps in the middle that no one wants to fill.
Nobody wants to sit in the middle. Yep.
Yeah, he was so distressed. And then he ended up sitting not that far from me on the plane. And then when we landed, I leaned over and told him congratulations on surviving.
Was he a retiree too?
No, he was a middle-aged snooty booty, and it
Oh,
was really
gotcha.
fun to make fun of him. Anyway, those are my stories. They weren't as
Well,
rageful as they have been, but I did learn a lot about myself and my own behaviors, and I continue to be intolerant of others. So we'll see if I'm better in a month when I come
I
see
was
you.
about to say, you'll have to make another list if you find anything odd, which I'm sure there will be. Oh my gosh.
I love you. Bye.
Love you, Bob.